Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Questions with Matt and Mark. So, Mark, this week, I'll go first.
Okay.
So, why don't we describe to viewers, there's been a little bit of a shift or market leadership change in the market beginning here in the second quarter. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so for a long time, or for as long as people can remember, technology sector has significantly outperformed other sectors of the U.S. market. And that trend changed sometime in the fall of 2020 is when energy names, financial names, and material names started to outperform. And what people tabbed this as was a change into value names and out of growth names. I think it's really important to remember, Matt, that one sector cannot lead for every single month out of the year and for every single year in a decade.
Yep.
So if we remember back to the early 2000s, tech literally outperformed for a significant amount of time without a break.
Yep.
And in my opinion, that's not healthy. So the past 6 months, tech has taken a back seat, but we saw at the beginning of Q2 that a lot of the big name tech companies have started to outperform again in Q2. So we'll see if that leadership sticks around for the full quarter and maybe even the rest of the year.
Love that. What do you got for me?
Talking about raw material prices, there's a lot of talk about how expensive like lumber is today. Can you just explain what that means for investors and consumers?
Yeah. So what you've seen, viewers, is a lot of these raw input costs. You can hear construction that we're doing here at the office ourselves, so we see this firsthand. A lot of the raw input costs, one that's getting a lot of headlines is lumber. And the price of lumber is up drastically from where it was a year ago. We're talking in excess of 200% move. And what that means is that the cost of building has gone up dramatically since COVID hit. So that's why a big move, Mark, you're seeing in housing prices is because a lot of these raw input costs have gone through the roof. And you're seeing it in other areas of raw materials. You're even seeing it seep into things like gasoline, oil, etc. You're seeing it in metals like copper. So with that being said, things are going to be more expensive right now for raw construction or energy usage. And the question mark when it comes is that going to subside going into the summer? And we'll have to see. But as of right now, those prices remain elevated and probably will be at least through the summer.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come back next week for another episode of Questions with Matt and Mark, and we'll see you then.